First, you want to start off by getting a bucket large enough to fit your turkey. So the bigger your turkey, the bigger the bucket. And then we want to add about 2 quarts of water and a lot of kosher salt to the water. Next, we want to add a whole garlic. I like to crush the cloves. And after that, orange slices or any citrus product will do. It doesn't have to be oranges. Next is a whole chopped onion. Next, I add some bay leaves and some whole peppercorn. No measurements, I just eyeball it. Also add a mixture of basil, oregano, and parsley. Once again, no measurements. Add some Worcestershire sauce or Worcestershire or however you pronounce it. I don't know how to pronounce it. But just add a lot of it to the brine. And the last ingredient is sugar. I like to use brown sugar, but you could probably use any kind of sweetener. Now just mix in all your ingredients. Make sure they get to know each other and mingle and cohabitate together. Next, just put your turkey in the bucket and then put your bucket in the refrigerator for about 24 hours. So after about 24 hours, now the turkey is ready to be removed from the brine. Now the turkey is going to be heavier than when you put it in because the brine has penetrated the skin, it's penetrated the meat. So the meat is now saturated with this brine. Also, when you're taking the turkey out, you want to make sure that you dump out all the brine. So inside the carcass, there's going to be brine inside the cavity, so just make sure you turn that upside down and pour that brine back into the bucket. So after the turkey has been patted down and dried, we want to take those good ingredients that were in the brine solution and reuse them during the cooking process. So just pour them over a strainer. Make sure you get all the whole pieces of orange and garlic and onion and everything, all those nice good ingredients. Now we want to add some olive oil to the skin. So just sprinkle some olive oil on there and just rub it all over the skin. Make sure you get it underneath the wings and over the breast and just make sure it's well coated. Next, you want to add a generous amount of crushed garlic to the outside. So just take as much garlic as you want. Just sprinkle it on your turkey and just rub it all around. Just make sure you get the garlic all over the outside of the bird, underneath the wings, on the drumsticks, on the breast, and everywhere. Now you want to add your seasoning to the turkey. I like to use Bad Byron's butt rub. It's the first seasoning that I used when I first started smoking turkeys, and I just love it. It works on everything, and it really, really works well with turkey. So just make sure you sprinkle it all over. Now after your turkey has been well seasoned, we can start adding other ingredients to the cavity. I take a whole onion, roughly chopped, and stuff that inside the cavity. I also take a couple of stalks of celery, cut up, and put those in the cavity as well. Also, sliced apples. I usually use a whole apple, but you can use a half apple if you want. But I put those inside the cavity too. Another thing I like to put inside the cavity is more of the seasoning that I used. Some more garlic, either whole garlic or crushed garlic. Also, I place a whole stick of butter inside the cavity. So during the cooking process, when those juices start to come out the bird, and the butter melts into the juices and it mixes in with all the seasoning and the aromatics and everything, it just makes a really good solution to baste your turkey with. Also, don't forget that turkey neck. Some people like the neck. I personally don't, but hey, if it's part of your turkey, if you want to cook it, then go ahead and add it in there. And then I just sprinkle more seasoning as necessary. And the last step here is to add all those ingredients that were in your brine solution, like your orange slices and onion and garlic and peppercorn, and just add those to the pan as well, just to give it more flavor. Now that the turkey is prepped, it's time to start preparing our smoker. So in your charcoal basket, you want to put a layer of wood, whichever kind of wood you choose to smoke with, and then follow that with another layer of charcoal briquettes, and then just keep layering, maybe about 2 or 3 layers if you have the space in your basket for it. Next, we want to prepare our charcoal. We've got our charcoal in our basket. Now we want to just light a few coals to place on top of the coal in our basket. So I take coals and put it in my charcoal chimney. I turn my chimney upside down for this process just because I only want to light a few briquettes. So I put them in a smaller portion after it's been turned upside down. Stuff the chimney full of newspaper and just light the newspaper. After the newspaper is fully lit, it'll take about 10 minutes for your charcoal to be hot enough to be placed in your charcoal basket. So after you've placed your coals into the charcoal basket, just simply put your basket in your smoker and wait for your smoker to get up to temp. After your smoker has gotten up to the proper temperature, now you can place your pan with your turkey onto the smoker. Make sure you cover it loosely with foil. Don't cover it tightly, just make sure it's loosely covered. We want the smoke to be able to get in there and to affect the turkey. So every couple of hours, you can open up your smoker and just baste your turkey. Make sure it stays nice and moist. Just bathe it in those juices that it's cooking in. After your turkey has reached an internal temperature of 165, then it's ready to be taken out. As you can see here, got some nice red and dark spots on my turkey from the smoke. As with all smoked meats, you want to make sure that after it's done that you let the turkey rest. I like to let it rest for about an hour or so. During that rest period, make sure that the skin stays moist by basting it in the juices that it cooked in. After that 1 hour rest period, your turkey is ready to be sliced, served, and eaten. Trust me, you will love the taste of this turkey. Once you start smoking the turkey, it's hard to go back to a roasted or fried turkey because there's just so much flavor in the smoked turkey. Also, because it's cooked slowly at a low temperature, it's not as dry as a roasted turkey or even a fried turkey. Thank you guys for watching my video. I hope this helps you out as you're preparing to smoke and brine your turkey. I'll make sure that I put the ingredients list and the recipe in the description as well as some other tips.